The JBL Clip 3 versus the JBL Clip 4. Today I'm going to try to give you a full breakdown of both of these devices to see which one would be better for you. And starting out with purely the physical design, both of these speakers have a very distinct look. Of course they are on the same line, which is the JBL Clip, but they look completely different. And if we even put them side by side, they are very different in size as well, going from the shape to the size of the clips. As we can see on top, the carabiner clip on the JBL 3 is a lot more skinny and taller. On the 4, it's much more wide and a little bit shorter. The buttons on the front remain the same, but obviously the branding is different. I personally like the JBL 4 design better. It's just a little bit more sleek. On the 3, it's harder to see the branding. It just doesn't look as nice. And taking a closer look at the Clip 3 first, on the front we have this heavy duty mesh material that helps it stay dust proof and waterproof. And as we turn it to the back, it is more of a silicone here on the back side with a rubber backing, so that way when it's planted flat, it's not going to really move anywhere. And of course we have the power and the Bluetooth button here on the back, and underneath we have a flap we can open up that gives us access to the charging input and the auxiliary input. And now taking a look here at the Clip 4, the material on the front is very similar. It's a heavy duty mesh material that's going to help protect it from water and dust. But the difference is, as we turn it to the back, this mesh material is on the back as well. But on the JBL Clip 3, it's more of a silicone with a solid rubber back. But this one has a rigid rubber back, which I personally like more. It just feels better and feels like it's more secure whenever it's flat. On the back, of course, we still have the power button and the Bluetooth button, so nothing has changed there. But the difference is on the bottom, you don't need to open up a flap to get access to the charging input. I like that there's no longer a flap, but you also lose access to the auxiliary input, which can be a negative. Strictly from a design aspect, I think the JBL Clip 4 wins. The only negative is that the Clip 4 does not have an auxiliary input, whereas the Clip 3 does have an auxiliary input. Next, let's talk about the battery. And when it comes to the battery, these are in a complete stalemate. Both of them have up to 10 hours of playing time, and they both take around 3 hours to charge, so there's really no difference in these two models. And now let's talk about Bluetooth connectivity. In the JBL Clip 3, this has a 4.1 Bluetooth rating. And what that means is that this speaker can hold its connection with another device up to 60 meters away, which ends up being 200 feet. Now, when it comes to the JBL Clip 4, this has a Bluetooth rating of 5.1. And what that means is that this device can hold its connection with another device up to 240 meters away, which is just under 800 feet. And that's pretty dang far for a Bluetooth connection. And when it comes to Bluetooth connection, the JBL Clip 4 wins by a mile. And now let's talk about the waterproof rating. The JBL Clip 3 has a waterproof rating of IPX7. And what that means is that this speaker can stay submerged in water for up to 30 minutes, up to 3 feet deep, which is overall pretty good. The JBL Clip 4 has an IP67 waterproof rating. And what that means is that this can also stay submerged in water up to 30 minutes, 3 feet deep. But the only difference is that this is also dust proof. So this would be definitely better for construction sites or places where your speakers are going to get dusty. The edge goes to the JBL Clip 4 when it comes to the waterproof rating. And now let's talk about sound. The JBL Clip 3 has an output power of 3 watts and the JBL Clip 4 has an output power of 5 watts. There's a very small difference there, but we're going to go ahead and listen to a live sound test so we can hear the difference. In the end, you can't really go wrong with either of these speakers. They both sound really good, but the JBL 4 does come ahead in a lot of the features and design aspects. But the JBL 3 does have an auxiliary port, which the JBL 4 lacks in. So if that's a deal breaker for you, I would go for the 3. If you're looking for something that's a little bit newer and has better design, I would go for the 4.